We're going to repay you a salute to the greatest fans in all the world, dirt late model fans. Out of turns 3 and 4, on your feet, make some noise, wave at your favorite driver, because this is the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series at the Arrowhead Speedway. You know, even after 6 years on the road, 3 years my home racetrack, Batesville Motor Speedway, and a lifetime as a dirt late model fan, a dirt racing fan in general, it still gives me chills each and every time as the field breaks away 24 cars strong of the best super late models, not just in the Mid-South, not in the Midwest, in the country, right here at the Arrowhead Speedway. And what a way to kick off the biggest super late model event in Arrowhead Speedway history, the Sooner State Showdown. Then with 10 G's on the line on night number 1 with the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series. In 5 Comp Cam Super Dirt Series events here at Arrowhead, 5 different winners. Ethan Dotson's in the field tonight. BJ Robinson's in the field tonight. Billy Moyer's in the field tonight. They will look to become the first repeat winners here at Arrowhead with the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series. But the What Battle Late Model Series regulars, they're trying to spoil the party as well. Pick up a nice $10,000 before they join the action the next 2 nights. $12,000 to win tomorrow night, $20,000 to win on Saturday. But the caution light is out. We go green this time by the VP Racing Fuels Making Power Start Zone. Brian Shirley, Dennis Erb Jr., Cade Tiller, Dustin Sorensen, Ethan Dotson, Bobby Pierce, Nick Hoffman, Tyler Erb, Brent Larson, Cody Overton, Eli Ross, Billy Moyer, Tyler Wolf, Jake Tim, and the rest of the gang. Night number 1 of the Sooner State Showdown is underway with the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series. And it turns 1 and 2. Squirrel Brian Shirley with the early edge. Tiller gonna go to the bottom. We're 3 wide already back there for the 4th spot. That was Pierce, the meat of the sandwich of Dotson and Sorensen. Give lap number 1 though to Brian Shirley as here comes Cade Dillard around the inside. Dillard and Erb go side by side. Dillard, a former What Battle Late Model Series regular as well. Looking for his 3rd comp win of the year, and he's gonna bobble out of turn number 2. Here comes Dustin Sorensen. Right now, Illinois, Louisiana, Minnesota. Good battle back there for 4th. It's Dotson, Hoffman, and Pierce. Give Nick Hoffman the spot in the NOS Energy drink number 9. Brian Shirley wasting no time at all to pull away from the field. Last time by 1.1 second advantage over Erb. Dillard really good in 3 and 4, but struggles in 1 and 2. He'll take the 2nd spot away at the line that time from Erb by 88 thousandths of a second. Dillard gonna pull the slider on the 28 machine, move to the top side in turns 1 and 2, back to bottom in 3 and 4. And here comes the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, as the start zone is on the racetrack, and that'll bring out our first Mr. Dent Collision Repair caution flag. Well, you know, they're going to use every inch of the speedway and then some, doing a little bit of a lawnmower action on the grass, and someone clipped the VP Racing Fuels Making Power start zone. And for the 2nd time tonight, it'll have to be replaced in its spot. So with 3 laps complete, Mr. Dent Collision Repair caution flag will fly. Brian Shirley, your leader. Cade Dillard 2nd. Dennis Erb Jr. 3rd. Dustin Sorensen 5th. Nick Hoffman Sorensen 4th. Hoffman 5th. Bobby Pierce 6th. Tyler Erb 7th. Ethan Dotson 8th. Brent Larson 9th. And Cody Overton completes your top 10. Billy Moyer back there in the 11th spot. Tyler Wolf in 12th. Early look, your MD3 hard charger, and it'd be a whole host of drivers. Hoffman running the highest of all of them, up 2 positions from 7th to 5th. McCready from 17th to 15th. English up 2 spots from 19th. Bagley up 2 spots from 21st. And Beard up 2 spots from 23rd. So very early going of this one. 3 laps complete, 37 laps to go. 2nd event here at the Arrowhead Speedway on the season for the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series. Back on July 18th, it was Moyer, Clay Stuckey, Kyle Beard, your top 3, with Eli Ross, his best finish of the season, coming back on July 18th, coming home 4th right here at Arrowhead, with Bagley, Justin Wells, Drew Armstrong, Tyler Wolf up 14 spots in that one from or up 6 spots from 14 to 8. John Mitchell and Timothy Copel, your top 10 on that night. Caution light has extinguished. Let them loose once again. Still in the very early stages of this one. See, Cade Dillon was really making up some ground on the bottom in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 bottom, you got to hit it absolutely perfect. So Shirley will have control of the field. Fire back off. The VP Racing Fuels making power start zone. New Vision green flag in hand. Back underway on night number 1 of the Sooner Showdown. And it turns 1 and 2. Dillard back to the bottom, going to leg forward on the restart. That's going to give Hoffman the top side. Dillard goes from second nearly to fourth. Going to try to battle back with Hoffman. Dillard back to the bottom in 3 and 4. Here comes Dennis Erb Jr. We know how good he is around the Uke tires. Erb going to go to the top in 1 and 2. Keep pace with the 3S of Brian Shirley. Dillard slider on Hoffman for the 3rd spot. Good battle back there for 5th. It's Sorensen and Pierce. Minnesota versus Illinois. And battle for the lead at the line. Still Shirley by 60 thousandths of a second. Dennis Erb Jr. doing Dennis Erb Jr. things. As he rolls the bottom of the racetrack. Dillard gets away at the racetrack. He'll make contact with Pierce. We stay green. Brian Shirley continues to show the way. 6 down, 34 to go. Big haymaker slider by Tyler Erb on Dotson. Ethan Dotson was up to the top 5 earlier in this one. He has now fallen back to the 10th position. Here comes Bobby Pierce again on the outside. He's going to try to get around Dillard and Hoffman, a little 2-for-1 special. He gets by the 9, but not clear of the 97 yet. And Bobby Pierce is on the move. Had a feeling the smooth operator may just like the Arrowhead Speedway, and so far, so good for the Oakwood, Illinois driver. Back through the field, Shirley, your leader. Dennis Erb Jr. still trying to roll the bottom. 1 and 2, really a trouble spot for these guys around the Uke tires. 3 and 4. That's where Shirley tries to go. Your top 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all up there. As Dotson, the first driver in the top 10 to move to the outside in 3 and 4. Dennis Erb Jr. is about to have company. Fellow Illini State driver in Bobby Pierce. We coming around to complete lap number 10. 10 in, 30 to go. And Dennis Erb Jr. was in the grass that time on corner exit to turn number 4. Lap traffic about to come into play. It's going to be Joe Corby, the first car to go a lap down. Erb, don't look now. Here he comes for the 3S of Brian Shirley. Illinois boys showing the way. Your top 3, then it's North Carolina and Louisiana. Your top 5. Shirley got to figure out his way around lap traffic, and Dennis Erb Jr. is right there on him. Brian Shirley looking for his first ever Comp Chem Super Dirt Series win, trying to hold off Dennis Erb Jr. around the front stretch. Erb goes back to the bottom, Shirley to the top. Battle for the lead in 1 and 2. Shirley jumps the cushion. New leader down the backstretch. Shirley back to 3rd. Here comes Bobby Pierce for the lead now. Erb on the bottom, Pierce up top at the line. Dennis Erb Jr. leads lap number 13. Down the back straightaway. Pierce jumps the cushion. He'll get into the fence. He'll fall back to 4th now. Live by the cushion, you die by the cushion here at the Arrowhead Speedway. And that time, he reached down and got the 32 of Bobby Pierce. Nick Hoffman battles for the 2nd spot now, side by side with Shirley down the back straightaway. Shirley going to try to drive down to the bottom, nearly contact between the 9 and the 3 and give Hoffman the spot. Lap traffic about to become very difficult for Dennis Erb Jr. as the 2 of Charlie Cole right there in his line, watching the battle for 2nd. Hoffman slides up in front of the 3S of Brian Shirley. Hoffman going to try to enter a little bit higher here, see if he can close in on Dennis Erb Jr. 16 laps in the books, 24 to go. Night number 1 of the Sooner State Showdown. Battle for the lead starting to brew. Here comes Hoffman. Erb Jr. stays right around the Uke tires. Hoffman through the middle. Throwing those crumbs up the racetrack. Hoffman just can't seem to get any bite in his Hoosier tires. 1 and 2 though, maybe the perfect spot for it. Erb bobbled. Here comes Hoffman down the backstretch. Does Dennis Erb Jr. push the issue a little bit with the 2 of Charlie Cole out of turn number 4. Erb through the grass, nearly moves the Uke tire. Erb leads, but here comes Hoffman at 1 and 2. Got a slow car down the back straightaway. That's Joe Gorby. Erb way down on the inside of the racetrack. Through turns 3 and 4, we stay green. And new leader on lap number 19, it's Nick Hoffman. He'll take the lead just before the halfway point in this one. Slides up in front of the 1 of B.J. Robinson to put the 1 car a lap down. This time 20 in, 20 to go. Here on night number 1 of the Sooner State Showdown. Dennis Erb Jr. trying to get his feet back under him and close in on Hoffman, but we got 2 around in turn number 4. That's going to be the 1 of Turbo Tyler Erb. And looks like also the 4 of Tyler Wolf, and Turbo is not happy with the Fayetteville, Arkansas driver. They were running in the 8th and 9th position at the time of that caution, and oh my, drama building on night number 1 of this event. See, the renovation's been done throughout the night, especially by the 28 of Dennis Erb Jr. as Ute tires pushed way up in the racetrack as Wolf and Turbo pull to the infield. Oh my. Gotta play and follow the leader. Not really sure what's happening here, having their own little race in the infield. Tyler Wolf, the Lobo Racing ARMI number 4W machine, and Tyler Erb still not happy with him. And the Bubba Green Towing hot pit area, I think it's a great term for the hot tempers currently flaring between these two, but as the one machine stopped right next to the 4W, and we'll take a look at your MD3 hard charger report as of right now. It's Kyle Beard up 9 spots from 23rd to 14th. Or excuse me, 23rd to 9th, up 14 spots. Tim McCready up 13 positions from 17th. Oh, that's going to be incorrect. So Nick Hoffman, your leader. Hoffman started this one back in position number 7, so he's up 6 spots. Dennis Erb Jr. started second, runs second. Bobby Pierce runs third, started back in 6th. Then it's your pole setter, Brian Shirley, back there in the 4th spot. B1 bomber Brent Larson, who started 9th, runs 5th. Good run for him. Cody Overton in the 6th position after rolling off from position number 10. So as I mentioned, Tim McCready looks to be your early MD3 hard charger. McCready and the 9 machines, one is B main, started 17th. And if my depth of competitions glasses can confirm, he's running right now in the 9th spot. So big moves up 8 positions for T-Mac. Another thing to keep in mind here, the points battle. Morgan Bagley entered tonight, 160 points behind Mr. Smooth Billy Moyer, and right now Moyer is behind the 14M machine. Not so far been a good night for the defending winner with the ComCam Super Dirt Series here at Arrowhead, and Mr. Smooth Billy Moyer. So halfway through, 20 down, 20 laps to go. Night number 1 of the Sooner Stain Showdown. Tyler Wolf will make his way out of the Bubba Green Towing hot pit area. Bubba Green Towing coming on board here in 2025. And so Nick Hoffman will be your leader. He'll be all alone out front. Erb will choose the bottom. That's a dangerous place to get Bobby Pierce at the top side of the racetrack. Under caution, though, those drivers really rolling in the crumbs of the Speedway. Going to be interesting to see a couple different lines really come to life. Here we go. Caution light is out. Going to go green this time by halfway through night number 1 of the Sooner State Showdown. 20 down, 20 to go. Hoffman will fire off the VP Racing Fuels, or what's left of the VP Racing Fuels Making Power Start Zone. We're back underway on night number 1 here at Arrowhead. Good restart there for the 9 of Hoffman as Pierce goes to the top in 1 and 2. Here comes the smooth operator laying on the throttle down the backstretch. He's going to go back to top in 3 and 4. Hoffman back down to the bottom. Pierce way up the racetrack. Yes, Pierce has second from Erb. Brian Shirley doing a little landscaping there, moving another Ute tire. And Bobby Pierce trying to get something working on the top shelf. They'll go back down to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Going to show the nose to Hoffman. The top 2 in the Real American Beer Water Valley Late Model Series points is Cody Overton. Nearly came to a stop in turn number 4. We somehow stayed green. He got it refired. And watching the battle for the lead. Nick Hoffman took the lead a couple laps ago before the caution and trying to hold off Bobby Pierce. Down the back straightaway. Here comes the smooth operator in the Low Voltage Solutions. Rio Grande Waste Services Longhorn chassis number 32. He is stalking Nick Hoffman into turns 1 and 2. 0.3 of a second last time. Battle for the lead down the backstretch. Hoffman takes the line away. Pierce, does he show in the nose in 3 and 4? Out of turn number 4, battle at the line. Still Nick Hoffman by 74 thousandths of a second. Pierce slider inbound on 1 and 2. Hoffman with the crossover down the backstretch. Nick Hoffman trying to hold him off as the caution flag will fly. Oh my, caution flag out with 25 laps complete. Oh, it was just getting good after a big slider there by Bobby Pierce. Hoffman, textbook crossover. And the 4W of Tyler Wolf goes around in turn number 4 to bring out Mr. Dent collision repair caution flag in this one. So here we go, 25 laps complete. Nick Hoffman is your leader. He took the lead back on lap number 19. Holding off a hard-charging Bobby Pierce just when you thought the bottom was becoming the dominant line. Pierce rolls around the top side of 1 and 2. Hoffman cut off his momentum. Pierce with a big slider before the caution flag flew. Things were just about to get interesting. Once again, taking a look at your MD3 hard charger, and look who's up to 5th. It's T-Mac Tim McCready from 17th. He's up 12 positions in this one. Kyle Beard's up 9 spots from 23rd to 14th. And then your leader, Nick Hoffman's up 6 from 7th to 1st. Stuckey up from 18th to 12th. English and Bagley also up 6 spots from their starting position. I got a feeling this one's not over. 15 laps to decide $10,000 on night number 1 of the Sooners State Showdown. So on the restart, looks like the 32 will choose the bottom. With Dennis Herb Jr. up top, Shirley McCready complete your top 5. Then it's Larson, Dillard, Dodson, Sorensen, and Troutman your top 10. Tough luck there for the 2C of Cody Overton. Nearly brought out the caution flag a couple laps ago in turn number 4. Not sure if the car just shut off or something went awry, but able to get it refired. And he lost wholesale positions. Hoffman will have control of the field. 15 laps to go. We're back underway here at Arrowhead. Pretty good restart there for Dennis Herb Jr. He's going to roll through the middle in 1 and 2. Here comes Tim McCready from 5th. McCready for 3rd down the back straightaway now. T-Mac Tim McCready from the B main trying to get one of those podium spots. Is Nick Hoffman going to pull away with 14 laps to go? Here comes McCready again down the back straightaway. Looks to the outside of Pierce for the 3rd spot. Pierce slides up the racetrack a little bit of contact between the New York and Illinois drivers. And Tim McCready may just be the fastest car on the racetrack as Hoffman, after the restart, is stretched out to a 1.3 second advantage. Just as I say that, McCready going to jump the cushion, lose the wholesale ground to the 32 of Pierce. Nick Hoffman's got to be perfect for 12 more laps. Looking for his first ever Comp Cam Super Dirt Series win. Down the backstretch, Pierce and Herb side by side for 2nd. Pierce going to roll around the inside. He'll take the position away from his fellow Illini State driver and Dennis Herb Jr. Now Pierce, 1.8 second difference to make up between him and Hoffman. He's going to have only 10 laps to get there as Nick Hoffman, Orangeville, North Carolina driver in the C&W Trucking NOS Energy Drink Longhorn chassis, back to the top in 1 and 2. Lead still 1.8 last time by. McCready trying to step back out at the top side and 1 and 2 that time, trying to close in on Shirley for 4th. And the Deathbridge Opticians eye test says yes, 0.2 of a second off that time by Pierce. 9 laps to go. Nick Hoffman will roll the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Bobby Pierce, can he catch the thrill from Mooresville? 3 more tenths of a second off the lead that time by 1.3 between your top 2. Both of them running the bottom of the Speedway in 3 and 4. Pierce has been running the bottom in 1 and 2. Hoffman's been around the top. At the line this time, another 0.3 of a second off the lead. Laps winding down in a hurry. 7 laps to go on night number 1 of the Sooners State Showdown. Lap traffic going to come into play. And how does Bobby Pierce get around Hoffman? Hoffman going to change his line. Goes to the bottom in 1 and 2. And the lead down to 0.9 of a second. Down the back straightaway, Nick Hoffman continues to show the way. Pierce 2nd, Herb 3rd, McCready from 17th to 4th. Brian Shirley completes your top 5. That time by Hoffman, 0.3 of a second faster than Pierce. Pierce going to change his line. He'll go back to the top in 1 and 2. Back to the bottom in 3 and 4. Overton off the pace. And Cody Overton pulls off the racetrack. We stay green. 4 laps to go. Lead still at 1.3 seconds as Hoffman gained another 10th that last time by. But what does he do with lap traffic? 3 laps remain here at Arrowhead. Tyler Erb, he's starting to rally a little bit. He's been rolling around the top of the Speedway. He's passed a couple cars since that last restart. Lead down to a second last time. Hoffman misses the bottom, but Pierce nearly does as well. Oh my. Nick Hoffman, Bobby Pierce for the win on night number 1 of the Sooner State Showdown. The bulletproof tees, white flag in hand. Final lap around, and here we go, race fans. 4 corners to decide it. Pierce is there, 0.4 of a second. In a 1 and 2, Pierce around the bottom, Hoffman through the middle. Hoffman's got company. Bobby Pierce, one last shot at him. He has to hit the bottom perfect on exit. Out of turn number 4, drag race, and it's Nick Hoffman winning night number 1 of the Sooner State Showdown. 2nd to Pierce, 3rd to Erb, 4th to McCready, 5th to Shirley, 6th to Larson, 7th to Troutman, 8th to Dotson, 9th to Cade Dillard, and 10th to Jake Tim. We'll talk to your top 3 on the front straightaway.